Mr.Falcon!
Animal Land is a great manga series too overlooked. Taking place in a strange world full of bizarre near-anthropomorphic animals, all split into their own tribes based on species, due to animals being unable to communicate with those of a different species. This changes with the arrival of Tarza, an orphan baby human nearly unheard of in this world ruled by beasts. Tarza is taken in by a small village of Tanukis and adopted by the easygoing but very loving Momika. However, outside of just being human, Tarza starts to seem even stranger to the Tanukis, as Tarza can understand the language of all animals. An amazing ability that allows Tarza and the Tanukis to get out of various dangerous situations, as well as make strong allies like the lynx Kurokage. However, this ability at times seems like a curse, as observing nature and being able to fully understand the last words of an animal before it becomes another's food is pretty brutal, especially for a young kid. Which is why young Tarza sets out to make it his mission to unite all animals, both predator and prey, which comes with a whole lot of challenges. Challenges that eventually spring up the mysteries of how the world and animals became the way they are, and the mysteries of the humans as Tarza eventually figures out that he's not the only human around. Now, I really enjoyed this manga when I finished it up last year, but I'm really sad that just barely anyone talks about it. I mean, I know that's the whole point of my channel, but usually some of the series I talk about either too new to have a presence online, or at least have a good couple of videos already up. But like, there's barely anything out there for Animal Land, which sucks because this series deserves so much more. Though maybe with the series' initial volume covers and some of the character designs, it might have fooled a lot of people into thinking that it was a very fun, lighthearted comedy series. And while it does have those elements in it, Animal Land is so much more than that. Much like the series creator Makoto Raiku's previous work, Zatch Bell, Animal Land sort of deceives you at first with its more goofy and charming art style, before taking you on an emotional roller coaster with moments I'm still heartbroken about a whole year later. But before going into that emotional stuff, there's a lot to enjoy with this manga. At times, the manga could be hilarious. Judging from his work and some of his out there author comments on his manga volumes, Makoto Raiku just seems like a genuinely funny and silly person. Seriously, with his series, there doesn't even have to be a real joke, it's just a lot of the faces and straight up characters he draws are just downright hilarious to me whenever I look at them. Like, you can't just look at something like this and just not at least smile. Of course, when looking at the premise of this series, there's definitely some sci-fi elements to be involved, but the way Animal Land goes about it is definitely not something I was expecting, and I won't spoil it in this video as it's a definite highlight for the series, with a few moments in its sci-fi review legitimately making my jaw drop, and I'm not exaggerating here, you'll know when you get there in the manga. Part of the main charm of this series is watching Tarza grow and slowly become a proper leader for uniting all animals, as he goes through many hardships and learning the harsh brutality of nature, while also admiring its vast beauty, especially when animals work together. Which is pretty heartwarming to see the animals eventually overcome the communication barrier and just help each other out to make a difference, which is definitely a relevant message. On top of seeing Tarza grow, we also see the village he was raised in develop, as in an almost video game-like fashion, this simple and humble Tanuki village levels up with Tarza with each new invention and new animal ally. Speaking of animal allies, the cast of the series is full of great ones that I can't go too in depth with, otherwise this video would just be way too long. But the series does a great job in making you attached to a lot of these animals. A pretty good example being these two characters that are introduced in the final arc, who are like these super badass animals, and at first it just seems like they're just gonna have a few cool moments and that'd be it for them. But no, the series not only gives them some of the best fights in the series, but also the most heartbreaking backstories, making them some of the most memorable in the series, despite having no previous build-up. And that's just with characters you get from the final arc. You can only imagine how attached you get to characters you follow from the beginning. However, another factor that makes these animals cool, as you can see throughout this video, are their designs, which are just all over the place, but in a really fun way. You got some that are somewhat normal looking, goofy ones that just never fail to make me laugh whenever I look at them, others that are more humanoid, and then just straight up monster animals, like holy shit, these things are terrifying, but also just so good. Very much like Animal Land itself. Now, I haven't finished reading Zatchbell yet, but from what I've read from that series so far, as well as Animal Land, I can tell that Makoto Raiku's work take these seemingly light-hearted and fun series and pack in a lot of emotion and genuine heart into them that far surpass first impressions. Which is why, if you haven't yet, I highly recommend his work and, of course, Animal Land. And with that, as always, I'm Mr.FalconPunch. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.